Hello and welcome to YemmyCast, a video game podcast on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, and of course the OG YouTube. Thank you for tuning in wherever you're tuning in from, whether you're halfway across the world or right next door. Thank you so much. If you're here for the premiere on YouTube, thank you so much. The podcast does premiere at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesdays and Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time the following weekend. Once again, thank you for stopping around. It's been an exciting week of playing games, and I'm just kidding. Days Gone has started to be very meh for me. I started playing other games over top of Days Gone. I can really only play about an hour or so now without getting too bored. The game's just getting a lot more monotonous than it was when I was playing it before. I've progressed farther and farther into the story, and it seems like I'm not gonna be in a different area, which is kind of unfortunate because I was really hoping for a new area somewhere along the lines. It just seems like this area that I'm in, I know it too well now. I have everything on the map unlocked that I need to unlock, and I'm just going through the story missions now. I've been running into a lot more glitches now too, even though they've been fixing them. I ran into one where you drive through a tunnel and there's a hitch on the end of a trailer, and I ran into it like 3 times in a row now, and Deacon will just fly off the motorcycle and morph into the tunnel walls and die. So it's, that's fun. And then the frame rate has just been so bad. When going into new areas, loading things in, the frame rate drops so fucking hard. It's ridiculous. So that's been my new experience on Days Gone. I've been playing Borderlands again. I got back into Borderlands Game of the Year edition for the PS4. I'm going to try and finish the platinum off for that this week. I've been playing more Mortal Kombat 11, just kind of goofing around with it, just doing towers and just having a little bit of fun with it while I still can. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. That kind of just slipped out. I don't know. I think that means that there's a lot more games coming out that probably will overshadow Mortal Kombat 11. And when I'm done with Days Gone, that'll probably be it for Days Gone. I probably won't play through it again like a lot of Sony games. This is probably the first Sony published game in a while that I've gone, it's okay too. Like, we had some great games last year, like God of War and Spider-Man, and years before that, Horizon Zero Dawn, and the Origami Killer, Heavy Rain, a long time ago. Like, just such great games. And now, this game is probably the first meh game that I've played from Sony in a while. I don't blame the studio or anything like that. I just think that it's a great concept and everything. It's just getting a little monotonous, There's the same thing to do a lot of the time. Like, you're just gonna do the same thing. Story missions pretty much play out the same way. Drive a motorcycle here, do a little bit of stealth, try to do stealth, get into a shootout, drive the motorcycle here, stuff like that. But overall, I mean, I still think it's a good game. I'm not trying to tell you not to buy it. Like, it's still a pretty good game, and if you like open world games, this is definitely one that you'll enjoy. Also on the ballot today, Shrek the Third. Shrek the Third, the video game, I should say. Shrek the Third, the video game. I've been playing this game on live stream the last few times I've gone live, and it's one of those games that I don't know what's up with it. It's for the Xbox 360, and there is no emotion on any of the characters' faces. Like, I feel like they kind of just shat this out. Like, the developers and the studio. I mean, this was developed by Activision, so that tells you something right there. But I feel like they just kind of tried really hard. They got hemorrhoids, and they plopped this game out and threw it on shelves because it didn't even have an update when I put it into my... This is the first time I'm playing this game, and it didn't even have an update to it. Like, that's how fricked up it is. I don't know why I censored myself there, but that's how freaked up this game is. No facial animations, nothing like that. The level design is actually pretty fun, and the combos and the combat is pretty fun. And actually, strangely enough, the voice acting in this game is actually pretty good. It sounds pretty on par with the actual movies. Like, if you play Shrek 2, the video game, for the last generation of consoles before the Xbox 360, you'll find that the voice acting is very, very off, and it's off-putting how bad the voice acting is. But that game plays a lot better than this game. That game's like a, not really third person, it's more of like a vast overview, and you have several different characters you can... It's like a Lego game, I should say. It's like a Lego game. You have different characters you can swap between, and they all have different abilities and stuff like that. So Shrek the Third, even though like it's kind of fun, it's interesting to see what they did with the storyline, because it's definitely not... It's not Shrek the Third. It's not Shrek 3, the story. It's vaguely related to that. It still has the same premise where the villains take over and Prince Charming and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it has some fun mini games in there too. Like there's one that was kind of like Angry Birds, except in third person. There's also one with like pirate ships and stuff like that. The boss fights have been pretty good in the game too. Can't complain about those. But yeah, all in all, I wouldn't recommend this game. Like, I still may even go and play the Forever After game as well. That one probably has better facial animations because it was made in the 360 era. But this game right here, I think this is one of the last movie games that I can remember seeing on the shelves when I was a kid. Because I think during the Xbox 360 era, that's when movie games started to go out of it. They kind of started to disappear. And I think this game is a good indication of why that started to happen, because they were just kind of shat out. There was nothing to them. They threw together a story, they put in some voice actors and said, okay, there you go, there's the game. Never look at it again. So I'm kind of scared to play Forever After this one, but I'm also kind of interested. Because I know that game came out definitely after the movie game craze. There was a heyday for movie games, like Lord of the Rings games. Those ones are amazing. Like Battle for Middle-earth 1 and 2, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Return of the King were all games that I would say, yeah, they put a lot of work into those, and those are fantastic. Lord of the Rings, The Third Age is still one of my favorite turn-based strategy games. It's just so much fun. You also look at TV games, and I'm not talking about like Jeopardy or something like that. I'm talking about like Ed, Edd and Eddy, The Misadventures, a great game made by a talented staff, and they even have the actual people who made the show help with it. They do all the voice acting, they wrote the story for it, and it shows in the game. Scooby-Doo, even though it's not like a movie, it's more of a TV show game, Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights is one of the greatest games I've ever played. It's still so much fun even to this day. And there's also a good amount of games like the Spider-Man games and stuff like that have a lot to them. But nowadays, you don't really see many movie games. You don't see many games that are made based off of movies. I know there's still like those mobile games like Game of Thrones, and there's probably a mobile game for every freaking movie out there. But as for like maybe AAA, AA games, no, haven't really seen any since this era of gaming. I remember probably one of the last movie games that I played that was brand new was probably like, I don't even remember. I can't even remember. I look at my wall of games here, and I don't even remember which one was the last one I played when I was a kid. Probably because it was probably just that bad that I blocked it out of my memory. I was a big proponent of buying the movie games because that was the time when I was a kid and I was growing up and I loved the movies, and I bought the games because who doesn't want to play through their favorite movie? I don't know, just my opinion. But I think there was a good amount of movie games that definitely deserve, to be on top 100 lists. I could probably name a few right now, but I'm not going to, because you don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about Anthem. No, you don't. You don't want to hear about Anthem, but there are 3 news articles that came out last week and this week that they disappoint me even more. Like, Anthem has not been getting back on its feet. It's kind of keeps stumbling and falling down. As I reported on a week ago, I think it was last week, Anthem's matchmaking system cannot find enough people for games anymore. There's people who cannot find a full party to play levels or anything like that anymore. And now, in a latest patch from the devs, they've removed cosmetic rewards that were added in after launch. So, obviously, they were saying that they were going to remove this for a while now, but I feel like they should just keep it in. Cosmetic rewards are fine. They're kind of fun to get sometimes. Like in Mortal Kombat 11, you get a cosmetic item. Oh, that's interesting. Injustice kind of went overboard with it, of course, Injustice 2, but we don't talk about that game. So now at the end of like Stronghold missions and stuff like that, you'll no longer get cosmetic rewards. They're called Elysian caches. So you'll no longer get the Elysian caches at the end of those. So they came out and said that, hey, just a reminder, before May 7th, make sure you spend your keys because those are going to be taken out of the game. So people who, I don't know if you earn the keys or buy the keys, I haven't played the game that much to know that, they are going to be shit out of luck because they are going to be completely removed from the game. Other things that happened in this patch, some audio issues with Spanish and French versions of the game have been fixed. They also fixed a power suit level rarity not showing, and also they fixed an issue causing some slight delay in salvaging at the end of expeditions. But this is just something that's kind of like, you might as well just keep it in there. I mean, no one's really playing the game anymore, and you're going to keep removing things from the game. Probably not a good idea. And they said that there is a slight chance that it will come back, but that is slim to none. The chance is slim to none. Also, more Anthem news. They've taken away a few key figures from BioWare to start working on Dragon's Age 4. So they've taken people away from the Anthem staff and they're throwing them onto the Dragon's Age 4 to try and make the game a comeback for BioWare, as this game was supposed to be. So this is just kind of causing concern within the community. Why are they throwing more people at Dragon's Age 4? Why are they giving up on it seems like they're giving up on Anthem right now. They did the same thing to Mass Effect Andromeda, and a lot of people are drawing that parallel to Anthem because Mass Effect Andromeda was having troubles. They were throwing out updates regularly, just like with Anthem, and then all of a sudden they were like, just kidding, work on Anthem now, forget about Andromeda, and they axed the multiplayer, they axed the DLC for Andromeda, and they left us with a shamble of a game. There's really nothing left of it right now. It's still glitchy, it still doesn't look right, and things still don't work as the way they want them to, and anyone who is a trophy hunter, you can't get pretty much any of the multiplayer trophies anymore, so thanks a lot for that, Andromeda, and anyone who is looking for a continuation of the story, well, you might as well just give a big boo. Because it's over. There's no more Andromeda DLC or games be in the near future. So right now, I've never played the Dragon's Age series. It was never a series that I looked into a lot or very far into. But this just spells disaster for Anthem even more. And then BioWare came back at the people giving them criticism for taking people off the development team, and they came out with a statement saying that we remain 100% committed to Anthem and look forward to showing players the new content we are working on. We want to make sure we aren't over-promising, so our updates on what's coming in the game will be focused when we have things near completion. They also said that along with Ben Irving and I, we've got a big team between Austin and Edmonton, focused and motivated for improving the game. We appreciate your support and being in this journey with us. It sounds like BioWare is gonna just kind of not do much for Anthem. They're gonna kind of stay in the shadows with Anthem. Hopefully they can get the project back on track, but it seems like they're going to give up on this game and move towards Dragon's Age 4, which is probably a bigger series. I mean, Anthem was supposed to be a comeback for them, but obviously that didn't work out. And Dragon's Age is another long-running series from BioWare that this could spell the end of days. Have we heard anything about another game from BioWare? When Andromeda was being worked on, Anthem was still kind of rumored. Right now, we don't hear anything about something from after Dragon's Age 4. So it's very possible that EA is going to pull the plug on BioWare after Dragon's Age 4 or during the Dragon's Age 4 development cycle. Whether they, because EA can really get money out of customers still from BioWare. Like, Dragon's Age is still a very popular series, and if they pull the plug on that, they're going to lose out on a lot of sales no matter what. I mean, people may be angry about Anthem, angry about Andromeda, but there's still a good amount of people who are like, I really want Dragon's Age Forge, and I'll get Dragon's Age Forge no matter what. So they're probably gonna keep BioWare open until Dragon's Age 4 is done, and then after that, obviously, it will probably most likely be shut down. All right, so 23,000 fans petitioned to get Reggie a new chair, and it worked. So back when Reggie was retiring from Nintendo of America, he showed off his office, and in his office was a little rinky-dink chair that he sat on, and of course I commented on his laptop, which I was like, why aren't you using a desktop, Reggie? Jeez, you aren't in the PC master race, obviously. So Nintendo didn't really say anything about this. It was all Reggie and his new personal Twitter. But there was a petition that went out for Nintendo of America to honor retiring legend Reggie and get him a fully loaded Aeron chair. And Nintendo was like, we're unmoved by this petition. But it seems like Herman Miller, who is the head of the company behind the chair, has listened to the fans' wishes. So Reggie came out on Twitter and said, thanks to the team at Herman Miller and the other 23,000 Change.org petitioners, I am getting a fully loaded Aeron chair for my home office. We'll send photos when it arrives. So a lot of people are happy about this. I'm a little bit disappointed that Nintendo didn't even try to help out with this. But what can you do? They're set on Doug Bowser. We're behind Doug Bowser, is what Nintendo's saying right now. They're like, Reggie who? Reggie Fee who? All right, so the original Devil May Cry is going to come to the Switch in the summer. So instead of releasing the Devil May Cry collection like they did on PS4 and Xbox One, they're just going to be releasing the first game right now. So Capcom has confirmed over Twitter that the original chapter of the long-running Devil May Cry series will arrive on the Switch this summer. This is marking the first time Dante will be in a Nintendo game, or on a Nintendo platform, I should say. I believe Dante was on PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, if I remember correctly, which means that he probably won't be on Super Smash Bros., even though Persona, the Joker from Persona is on there now, and there's been Bayonetta and stuff like that. I don't think Dante will be on the Smash Bros. In the future, but, who knows? The announcement followed comments by the director and producer saying that they want the fifth game to come to Switch, so this might be a good first step, a stepping stone, getting people interested in the series who maybe haven't played the series, who have been Nintendo owners their whole lives. This might help out and get some sales going, and then they might go, okay, I think Devil May Cry Collection or Devil May Cry 5 on the Switch is a good idea. And also, they've released photos and pictures and stuff like that of the game on the Switch. It looks pretty good. And also, they have no plans to release a physical edition of Devil May Cry on the Switch. On the product listing, it says that the product is only available to download. There's no plans to release a physical version. All right, Ryan Reynolds has admitted that he said R-rated lines while recording Detective Pikachu. He wanted to get down the voice and character of Detective Pikachu, so he tried hundreds and hundreds of different versions of the character to finally to get one that lined up with the way he wanted the character to be. Obviously, a lot of language is PG-13, but other times, language was closer to R rating, he says, in an interview with comicbook.com. Also in the interview, he said that if he wanted to make the movie more mature with Pikachu, he'd likely continue on with the film noir theme, recreating such classics as Mean Streaks or Goodfellas. The full interview is really interesting with Ryan Reynolds. He's obviously doing the rounds right now, trying to promote the hell out of this movie. I would really like to see the R-rated stuff that he said. I mean, who knows? Especially after Deadpool and stuff like that. He obviously has a potty mouth, so I'd like to hear some of the stuff. Maybe in a way that someone will dig it up, or maybe they'll release it afterwards. But obviously, the Pokemon company wants to make sure that they want to keep things, child friendly, family friendly for Pikachu. They don't want Pikachu coming out and saying swear words and stuff like that. So obviously they want to keep him PG, G. But it would be fun to see the R-rated version of Detective Pikachu. Dead by Daylight has done a little bit of an oopsie. They accidentally released the wrong update to Xbox One owners. So Behavior Interactive, who is a developer of Dead by Daylight, accidentally sent out the wrong update to some Xbox One owners. This was only up for a short amount of time, but a streamer captured the face and model of Scream's Ghostface, so that this pretty much confirms that Ghostface is coming to Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight already has faces like Michael Myers and Leatherface and Freddy Krueger and Amanda Young from the Saw franchise, so this is another great addition to the game's roster of scary, spooky people. Behavior Interactive came out on Twitter saying some lucky players got a glimpse of our upcoming chapter release content in today's mid-chapter update. We already pushed the right update live to all players on PC and PS4. Xbox users will receive another update in a few days. In the meantime, enjoy the early hype for the next chapter. So this is cool for people who are fans of the Scream series and also fans of Dead by Daylight. You see what you're going to be getting. The best version, I think, of Ghostface is the one from Scary Movie, personally. The whole scene where he's like, "What up?" I love that. But this is cool, too. All right, EA Access has been confirmed for PS4 and it's going to arrive this summer. After lots of rumors and speculation dating all the way back to 2014, EA has finally come out saying that discounts and the service will be available in the summer. EA Access. Now, if you already have an EA Access account on Xbox or PC, you won't be able to use that on your PS4, so you have to buy this again. This is a $5 1-month subscription or a $30 subscription for a full year. For those people who are not in the loop, EA Access gives subscribers discounts on new EA releases, early access to upcoming titles, and full access to a large backlog of EA games. We'll see what this all means. I have not checked this out myself, but I think that it's a good service to kind of, if the discounts are truly that great, it could be an interesting service. Of course, EA has kind of gone downhill with the quality of games in recent years, with games like Battlefront, Need for Speed, Madden, things like that kind of going downhill. We'll see if this is really worth it in the end. The only game series that I'm still invested in is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Other than that, I have no interest in a lot of the games that they've been putting out. Alright, PlayStation State of Play will return the 9th of May, and they're going to be announcing a new title plus extended gameplay of Medieval, the Medieval remake coming out. This is interesting and amazing to me because I really want to play Medieval again. When I had it as a kid, it was a great little spooky experience, and I'm excited to have another Spyro and Crash Bandicoot experience. So the next State of Play will be the 9th of May, like I said. It'll be at 3 p.m. Pacific time, which means it'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know what that means for UK time, probably even later in the day. Sony's been a little bit more upfront with this one after the backlash from the last one being mostly PSVR stuff, which isn't bad. Like I said, it's not like a bad thing. PSVR is still, needs to be supported by PlayStation. A lot of people still have it. But, they did get a lot of damage and a lot of damage?
That's a lot of damage!
They did get a lot of backlash on the last State of Play, and I can see where people are coming from. There also will be updates and announcements for upcoming other PS4 games. Probably going to be like a Days Gone or something like that. Who knows? But as always, make sure you check into the live stream or see the cataloged video as well. People have been speculating that there might be Last of Us Part 2 or Death Stranding trailers. Of course, last week I talked about the Death Stranding tease that Hideo Kojima put out, maybe possibly leading to an E3 reveal, but it could be also for this. Death Stranding could be part of this State of Play. But I think they would keep Death Stranding and Last of Us 2 for E3 since those are the big games coming in the next few years. So we'll see. We'll see. Motto of the podcast, we shall see. Hey, Mr. Predicto, is this State of Play going to have more PlayStation exclusives and better and more than just PlayStation VR? Please let me know, Mr. Predicto.
The answer is unclear. Try again.
Try again. I'm not going to waste your time and try again, but the future is uncertain about that one. Ooh. All right. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order gameplay will officially be shown at E3 2019. At the May the 4th event, EA came out saying that it's going to be releasing gameplay at next month's E3 2019. The developer Respawn Entertainment confirmed the reveal as part of its May the 4th Be With You celebrations. Don't forget that EA is not hosting a traditional press conference this year, meaning that this announcement will take place in one of the multiple live streams the publisher has planned to replace its stage show. Alright, and the final thing for the day, which was probably one of the coolest console redesigns I've seen in a while, there's going to be a Godzilla giveaway for the Xbox One. The King of Monsters edition will release with 4 different versions, and you can win them just by retweeting a tweet made by Xbox on Twitter. The forwarded console designs take after the different monsters in the movie itself. So there's Mothra, which is probably the lamest one because it just has a moth on top of a greenish Xbox console. There's a 3-headed Hydra, which is a yellow Hydra. The 3 heads are making up the Xbox, which is really cool. There's also like a demon-looking one. I'm not sure what monster that is. I know Godzilla, but I'm not sure what that one is right now. Someone in comments will probably let me know, but that one looks really sick. It kind of looks like a Doom theme. And then finally, the Godzilla version with his blue spikes and scaly textures is probably the piece de resistance of this collection. So the Xboxes are fitted out. They're Xbox One S consoles, or X consoles, Xbox One X consoles. This is pretty much just for promotional purposes of the movie. A lot of people have been retweeting it. Right now, there are 72,000 retweets. I just retweeted it myself personally. There's no purchase necessary, and this ends June 7th. So make sure you hop on over to Xbox on Twitter and RT for a chance to win the sweepstakes. The Godzilla is going to be in theaters May 31st. I'm pretty excited for it. I'm hoping that it's going to be better than the last Godzilla movie, but if it's anything like the King Kong movie that came out a few years ago, I will be extremely happy with it. Even though a lot of people didn't like the King Kong movie, I thought it was great. I loved it. I bought it on Blu-ray. And hopefully this one kind of follows the same pattern, because I just want monsters fighting monsters. That's all I want. The original remake of Godzilla that came out in like 2014, there was hardly any Godzilla. There was hardly any monster fighting. This one, I want there to just be all-out Godzilla warfare, all right? Come on. Who cares about what the humans are doing, blowing up eggs, running away from fiery trains? Who cares about that stuff? I want Godzilla, and I want it now, damn it! But yeah, these consoles look really cool, except for one. Hopefully the people who win them are happy with them. I'm sure that the price for these is going to skyrocket. Obviously, these are exclusives, and they probably will never be released again. So really, really cool. Really, really cool. Are you going to win one? Probably not. You're going up against 70,000 people. It's going to be if you do win one, congratulations, but probably no one watching this will win one, even if they all retweet it with 50 different accounts, all right? It's not a sure thing to win, you know? A lot of people go into these things going, oh, I'm going to win a car. I'm going to win this. I have to give them my social security number. No, you're going up against the odds on this one. It's just like the lottery. Only one person really wins in the lottery, and that is the state. Ooh, political stuff. We're going to get away from that. Everyone applauds at my political commentary. Anyways, that's it for this episode of YemmyCast, a video game podcast. Thank you so much for coming around, whether you're on Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. It doesn't matter to me. I appreciate you all nonetheless. Things coming up. We're going to continue doing live streams of Shrek the Third until I finally finish it. And then we're going to hop into Shrek Super Slam after Shrek. I'm still trying to get through Banjo-Tooie. I haven't had the gall to get back on it yet. My thoughts on that will be coming in a later podcast. Other than that, other things coming to the channel. I just put out a new album review on Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday, not Monday. On Tuesday, I put out another album review. So if you want to, make sure you check that out. I made it a little bit shorter than the last one, and I think it's something that I want to start doing a little bit more. Even if the views aren't and watch time isn't there, I still enjoy doing those. And I mean, music is a huge part of my life. Like, there's video games and there's music. Those things really don't really clash a lot. I usually have time for both of them, but music has been a big part of my life for a long, long time. Ever since I started playing the trumpet in my wee old elementary days. Actually, I started with a recorder in my wee old days at school, which just jump-started everything. Actually, wee back when I listened to the Backstreet Boys when I was a kid, I started to enjoy music. I've grown past it, of course. My musical tastes have changed, but I will always remember my time listening to Backstreet Boys and singing along with NSYNC and all that. And I still owe it to my 9-year-old, 8-year-old self to sing Backstreet Boys when I hear it, sing NSYNC when I hear it, because it's a part of my blood and soul. And that's going to be all the Backstreet Boys talk we have today, boy band talk we have today. Anyways, thank you once again for showing up to the premiere. If you're here for the premiere, I really appreciate it. Remember, YemmyCast, a video game podcast, premieres on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Let me know how I'm doing in the comments below. Make sure you press the like button, and if you really, really enjoy, make sure you follow me on my social medias, Twitter, YouTube, my Discord. Join my Discord if you want to. Also, make sure you follow me on Spotify, iTunes, or SoundCloud to listen to the podcast on the go and use a little bit less data. That's the selling point for that. All right, well, I am your host, YemmytheFerret, and this has been another episode of YemmyCast, a video game podcast.